Hello students and welcome to my channel Maths Hub. So today we will do some practice problems in Fourier transforms. So let us check the first question. Find the Fourier transform of fx equal to 1 for the interval mod t less than equal to 1 and 0 for mod t greater than 1, and hence evaluate the integral 0 to infinity sin x by x dx. Right? So this is not fx but it is f. You can understand this, right? Okay, so let us try to calculate the Fourier transform for this function. So Fourier transform for this function ft is given as 0 minus infinity to infinity f of t into e power minus I alpha t dt, right? Now in certain books I told you in the very beginning also that when you calculate Fourier transforms and inverse Fourier transforms, there is one factor as 1 by under root 2 pi. So in certain books, they will take in both the formulas as 1 by root 2 pi, and in like books like Jen and Inger, they will calculate Fourier transform using this formula. And when it comes to calculating the inverse Fourier transform, they will introduce the factor 1 by 2 pi. So in total, the total factor is 1 by 2 pi. Either it is distributed as 1 by under root 2 pi in both the formulas, or it is taken in one formula. Right? So by both the methods, you should be knowing how to calculate it. Right? So already I have told you how to take 1 by root 2 pi when we balance the factor in both the terms. I have already done questions on this. So today, in this video, I will take the constant only in the inverse Fourier transform. Right? So mod t is less than 1 means that t belongs to the interval minus 1 and 1. Right? So what we will do is we will take this interval and we will break this as minus infinity to minus 1 plus minus 1 to 1 and then 1 to infinity. Right? So what is happening when the function t is outside this interval, the function is taking value 0. So that means this value will be 0 and this value will be 0. So only in this interval the function is taking value 1. Right? So this integral breaks into minus 1 to 1, function is taking value 1. So we are only left with e power minus alpha t, right? So when I integrate this, it will become e power minus iota alpha t divided by minus iota alpha. And then we put the limits as minus 1 and 1. So 1 by minus I alpha, I can take it as it is. And now let me put the limit. So I will get e power minus I alpha. I'll put the limit in t minus e power, it will become I alpha, right? So I can adjust this minus sign and take I in the numerator by multiplying and dividing by I. So I will get I by I square, I'll get it will become minus alpha, and this minus sign is adjusted and it is becoming e power I alpha minus e power minus I alpha, right? So this is what? This is I by minus alpha into what is ei alpha minus ei minus alpha? You know that e power iota theta is nothing but cos theta plus iota sin theta, right? Yeah. So, and e power minus iota theta is equal to cos theta minus iota sin theta. So when you subtract them, cos theta will get cancelled and you will get e power iota theta minus e power minus iota theta as 2 times iota sine of, in this case it will become sine alpha, right? So I square, I will become I square, which is minus 1. So this is nothing but 2 by alpha sine of, correct? Now from here, what do I get? I get the result for the Fourier transform. Now I need to calculate the integral integral 0 to infinity sin x by x dx. Right? So in that case, what we do is we apply the inverse Fourier transform. So what is the inverse Fourier transform? The inverse Fourier transform says f of t is equal to, we will take the constant here now, 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f of alpha into e power I alpha t d alpha. Right? Let us put the values in this. This is 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity. F of alpha is coming out to be 2 by alpha sin alpha e power I alpha t d alpha. Right? Now, this term is not required in the question. So what should I put this term equal to? Let us put this term t equal to 0 on both sides. So on the left hand side we have ft. So when t is taking value 0, f of t, it will fall in this interval. So function is 1. So we are left with 2 and 2 also gets cancelled. So we are left with 1 by pi minus infinity to infinity sin alpha by alpha d of alpha. Right? Now sin alpha by alpha is an even function, right? So if we can make this interval twice, so 2 will come out and it will go that side and it will become pi by 2 is equal to 0 to infinity sin alpha by alpha. So we were supposed to calculate this interval only, this integral 0 to infinity sin alpha by alpha d alpha. So it comes out to be pi by, right? So I hope you understood how we applied the transform and the inverse Fourier transform. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Find the Fourier transform of fx. Again, this should be f of t. F of t is equal to 1 minus modulus of t when mod t is less than or equal to 1 and 0 when mod t is greater than 1. And hence we need to evaluate the integral 0 to infinity sine square omega by omega square d omega. Right? So here again we try to calculate the Fourier transform for the given function. So Fourier transform of f of t will be, since mod t is less than or equal to 1, so we break this interval from minus 1 to 1 because in all other intervals the function will assume value 0. So you are left with the function 1 minus mod t and then you have e power minus I, this time I'll replace alpha with omega also, dt. Right? Now since the function is in mod t, again we have to split this interval from minus 1 to 0 and then from 0 to 1. Right? Now in the interval minus 1 to 0, mod t will take value minus t. So it will become 1 plus t into e power minus I omega t. And in the second interval 0 to 1, mod t will be positive. So it will be 1 minus t into e power minus I omega t. Right? Let us take each integral separately and solve it. We will first integrate minus 1 to 0, 1 plus t into e power minus I omega t dt. So this term comes out to be 1 plus t same e power minus I omega t divided by minus I omega minus 1 plus t derivative will become 1 into e power minus I omega t divided by minus I omega whole square. And then I will put the limits as minus 1 and 0. So when I put 0 as the upper limit, it will give me 1 plus 0 into e power 0. So that is minus 1 by I omega will be constant I'll get 1. And with minus 1, this term will become 0. Right? Now, with 0, now this term is becoming minus I square will become plus 1. So it will be minus 1 by omega square. With 0, e power 0 will become 1. With minus 1, it will become e power. Put minus 1, so it will become um, minus I omega into minus 1, so it will be I. Done? Okay. Let us solve the second integral now. Now the second integral is from 0 to 1 minus t, e power minus I omega t dt. So this is 1 minus t, e power minus I omega t divided by I omega minus I omega minus, now we will have a minus 1 as the derivative, e power minus I omega t divided by minus I omega, and then we will put the limits as 0 and 1, right? So minus 1 by I omega will come out, and then when I put 1, it will become 0. With 0, it will become 1 minus 0 into e power 0. So I will get a minus 1 due to the lower limit. Then minus minus will become plus. Minus I square will also become plus. So we will get 1 by omega square. When I put 1, I will get e power minus I omega. And when I put 0, I will again get a 1. Let us put the values in this integral. So the integral will become minus 1 by I omega plus minus 1. I'm opening all the brackets. Minus 1 by omega square plus e power I omega by omega square. Then I'll get a plus sign from here, 1 by I omega. Then e power minus I omega divided by omega square. And then minus 1 by omega square. Right? Okay. So from here, what do we get? This term gets cancelled, right? And we are left with, okay. Yeah, I think there is a sign error because when I square this term, I will get anyhow I square. So it will be minus, right? So this term should be minus. And this term should be, I think, plus because I'll get I square will become positive, I square will become negative, so this term will become plus. So I will get minus 1 by I omega plus 1 by omega square minus, this term will be minus I omega plus 1 by I omega, then I wrote a minus sign here, right? So this will be minus minus plus. Yeah, so this will be minus. So I will get a minus sign here and I'll get a minus minus plus sign over, right? Okay. So from here, what do we get? We get 2 by omega square minus, I can take out omega square common. We are left with e power I omega plus e power minus I omega, right? So now this is 2 by omega square minus, this term is 2 cos theta. So we will get 2 by omega square cos of omega. So I can take out omega square common. I'll get 1 minus cos omega. So this is my answer to the Fourier transform. Right? Now we need to evaluate that integral. So let us apply the inverse Fourier transform. So what is inverse Fourier transform? So f of t is 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity f alpha into what? f alpha into e power I a. I'll write omega here instead of a. I omega t, and here also I'll write omega f of omega e power I omega t d omega. Right? So this is 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity. F of omega is coming out to be 2 pi omega square 1 minus cos omega into e power I omega t d omega. So again, I don't need this exponential term in my answer. So let us put t equal to 0. So when I put t equal to 0, what do I get? T equal to 0 will fall in this range. So f of t will become 1 minus 0, which is 1. So 1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi minus infinity to infinity 2 by omega square into 1 minus cos omega will become 2 sine square omega by 2 d omega. Right? So 4 will come out, 4 by 2 pi. So 2 and 2 will cancel. We will get pi by 2 is equal to minus infinity to infinity sine square omega by 2 divided by omega square d omega. So let us put omega by 2 equal to x. So d omega will be equal to 2 times dx. When I substitute it here, it will become minus infinity to infinity sine square x divided by omega will be 2x whole square, which is 4x square, and this will become 2 times dx. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled, right? So this 2 will move up. So we will get minus infinity to infinity sine square x by x square dx is equal to, right? But this is again an even function, so you can make it twice, and then the final answer to this integral will become pi by 2. Right? So I hope you understood this question also. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the video, do hit the like button and do subscribe my channel to get the latest updated video. Have a nice day.